Welcome back to another episode of the Cannabis podcast. I'm your host, Simpson,
And I'm Kay.
and today's topic is going to be cannabis and healing. So, Ms. Kay, are you in a better place now that you are 100% a Canna woman?
I'm gonna say yes. There is many times that I wish I would have had. I wouldn't say had it because I always had it, but I wasn't vested completely 100%. It was more of a fear. You gotta do everything in fear and hiding and all that. So I didn't take that plunge as using it to heal mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. Because I always felt like if something was bothering me mentally, oh, I'll just, I'll get past it. It'll be fine, whatever. And I end up raging out or arguing or just being in this mood and this funk and this everything, and it started to take a toll on your everyday life. It really, really does take a toll when you don't let those out. So um that is something that I feel. And there's many times, let's say I haven't smoked or I haven't tinctured or whatever the case might be, that I feel that I could be driving and I'm like, oh, I'm so annoyed. And I'd be like, damn, I should have freaking smoked. Like,
Right.
I would have been in a better mood. I would have been more relaxed. I
Yes.
would have been there.
Yes.
And there's times I go through my little cold spells. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take a little break for a little bit. It'll
Of
be
course.
forever.
We all
Trust and
need that.
believe
We all
it'll
need that.
be forever. But for whatever I might need it for, or I just need to reset my mind, it could be a week, it could be a couple days, it could be a month, it could be two.
Hmm.
I've done it. I've done it longer than that, and I feel that's like really seeing again. And I guess it would go back to people who are Zanny people and whatever it is that they use to help themselves mentally when they decide to get off on things that they're supposed to be really mentally and
Right.
using, how they like try to reset themselves,
Yes.
I guess you would say, and then they end up doing crazy stuff because they don't think about what their medication does. Those medications
Right.
are a little bit stronger and
Right.
more
They
of
are.
a it's not a plant based. It's not a natural thing
No, it's
like
pharmaceuticals.
cannabis. It's
It's
pharmaceuticals. Those are all
pharmaceuticals.
man made. Where over here we are you grow from your own things, and that's just what it is. You've got more homegrown, more natural herbs that help you really get back to healing the proper way. So that is something that I feel as it has helped me heal, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, down to my back hurting. I need to take something to get it relaxed. I'm having terrible cramps. You know what? Let me take something that's gonna help. I'm not gonna jump to a Tylenol or whatnot because I know there's something else I could take.
Right.
I can
Right.
smoke and be real relaxed.
Yes.
Sometimes when we are on edge, our bodies tense up. Just like when you're in an accident, your bodies tense up.
Hmm.
That's just what it is. It's the same
Right.
thing. If you know you're already lightly cramping, you're like, oh God, let me go ahead
Right.
and you start tightening up every time it gets stronger, whatever the case might be. I already know that, so I'm gonna go my route and more my natural way, and that's gonna help me um with everything. It's gonna help
Yeah.
me go that route that I really want to go with.
I
How
agree.
does it how do you deal with that? Do you feel like it's something that helps you heal?
I honestly feel like I'm in a better place now
Okay.
since I have embraced myself
Right.
being a Canna woman. When a- as I've spoken before, I started, I tried it when I was young. I didn't like it because I get paranoid,
Mm-hmm.
get the crazy munchies. I felt everybody was staring at me.
Right.
I just felt so out of whack. Again, not knowing your tolerance, not knowing, how to or what the products are and stuff
Right.
like that. Um, but since I have embraced it, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to say I embraced it within like the last few years.
Okay.
So I've been long term not embracing it. And I felt that I had to put myself in this small place
Mm-hmm.
to make everybody else happy.
Right.
So mentally, I was destroying myself. I always had this crazy anxiety, this crazy paranoia,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because I wasn't accepting the healing powers of our natural herb.
Right.
I love now that I love myself as a Canna woman.
Mm-hmm.
I embrace myself because the fact that I am learning the product, I am learning my own tolerance, what I
Mm-hmm.
can, what I can't. I'm having fun with it at the same time. It's not something like with pharmaceuticals that we have to worry about getting addicted to them.
Right.
You know, if you really think about it, when it comes down to healing, you know, the doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, what do they prescribe? Any pharmaceutical to get
Of
a
course they do.
schizophrenia person, ADHD person, you know, depression person. They quick, you know, here's a script, you know.
Mhm.
And the thing about that is some people that take it
Mhm.
don't like how they feel, then they fall off of it, then they got to go back to it. And does that really cure your mental health? It
Right.
really doesn't, because now you're all over the place with it. And the same thing with our herbals. If you know your tolerance and
Mhm.
you accept it, I promise you the anxiety goes away with it.
It does.
And I have gone, you know, cold turkey in some moments, that
Mhm.
because we do have to fast our bodies, you know.
Mhm.
It's a good thing to cleanse our bodies. We have
Correct.
to do that. We have to detox ourselves.
Of course.
But you know, it's not permanently gone. I know I'm going to go back to it. I know that, but I know my tolerance. I know how I'm going to go back to it. I know how what I'm going to use and how I'm
Mhm.
going to use it. You know, today's Friday, you know, so why not, you know, do a I'm a drink and maybe take an Eddie Betty, you know, and that
Right.
I feel like that. And
Mhm.
that's how it should be. Or today is Monday, and then I'm gonna go and say, well, I have work, so I'm not, you know, and it's knowing your tolerance, knowing how you can function with it. Some
Mhm.
people are great at it because some people have creative jobs, and it's
Right.
Monday and they're gonna go and have to do all these creative things for 8 hours. So
Mhm.
why not take an Eddie Betty or a Stony Boney before they start work, or
Right.
their business, or whatever the case may be. But it's that kind of, you know, I feel that it has helped me mentally.
Mhm.
And since I have embraced it, I have actually accepted the powers of the herb, that I'm all for it. I think that it just mentally has helped me, and it has healed me in a way that I never thought that it would.
Right.
I wish I would have known about this
Mhm.
before, because believe me, I would have been, you know, healing myself a long time ago.
Mhm.
You know, I being raised in tough situations,
Right.
and it was always like stress was always there, even
Mhm.
as a child. That if I would have known that this scent in the air can heal me,
Right.
oh my God, I would have took life a lot different, you know. And I probably would it would have opened my brain up to do more things and
Mhm.
other things. Like right now, since I have embraced it,
Mhm.
now I'm actually super creative. I have room to do new things. There's so many things that I want to adventure now, and I have already started adventuring, and it's all because I feel that it's helped me heal.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with that. I do think it's a
It's a healing agent.
it is a
It's
healing
a
agent.
natural healing agent that some people are scared to try. Some
Yes.
people love it. Some people try to hide from it. Some people don't want to face the truth behind it. It's just what it is.
And it is what it is. I mean, we're not here to convince you to
Nope.
go and, hey, you know, the cannabis, they said that I have to do this. No,
Mm-mm.
don't do it. But it's the same thing as if you go to a doctor and you get a script and they tell you to take Xannies,
Mm-hmm.
or to take you know, Cymbalta, whatever it is, the
Right.
pharmaceutical that you need to take to balance your brain, you know. There's many other herbal agents that can
Mm-hmm.
actually help you, and cannabis is one of them. And I'm an advocate for it, because I am living proof of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, mentally how I you know, I felt small at one
Mm-hmm.
point in life. I felt very small. I felt very small in a room full of giants.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started actually, you know, Stony Boney,
Mm-hmm.
I, you know, I felt even smaller. I was like,
Right.
oh my God. But once you embrace, it helps you.
It
Once
really
you learn
does.
about it, it helps you learn the
Mm-hmm.
product, learn your tolerance. It'll completely change your life, honestly, because it has changed mine.
It's healing. It's a healing agent. It comes down to all that. I've seen it personally with people that are around me that
Mhm.
maybe they have MS, maybe they have IBS, maybe, you know, it could be Crohn's, it could be whatever it is. And I've seen the difference
Mhm.
in them when they aren't you know, smoking, when they are, whether they're on an edible or a tincture, whatever it is. I've seen the
Mhm.
difference. I They can't help but express they enjoy and love the natural way more than anything. That makes a
Absolutely.
huge difference in their life, and they don't like being on pharmaceutical stuff. They don't want to be on
Right.
those medications that are supposed to block this, but then supposed to fix this, but then have to take care of this and
Right.
all of it. They don't want to feel either the nausea that they get from the
Right.
medication or the tolerance of how this what worked for a little bit, now they got to go to the next step because it's not working anymore. And
Right.
they would rather stick with that more of a natural herb, and they know where it's, you know, it's being grown from the ground,
Mhm.
or, you know, it's just what it is. It's just like anybody that grows their own stuff. It's the same thing. You growing to cook your food, that's what it is. It
Right.
comes down to it. This is their medication,
Right.
and this is more of a proper way of doing things, a more healthy way, I guess you
I,
could say.
I want to say, I don't want to say proper because I don't want to take that away from the
Hmm.
doctors or the pharmaceutical companies, but it's a healthier way to
Hmm.
intake, because when they do prescribe you these medications, now they prescribe you one, but now you're on five medications
Yeah.
because of all the side effects of that first one that they gave you.
Hmm. That's what I'm
Because you're
saying. The
taking
side effects
this,
takes a
now I need you
difference.
to take this, and
Yes.
then I need you to take this. Oh, your blood pressure's off now. Now I need you to take
Yep.
this, and this is what happens with
Hmm.
pharmaceuticals, and it's what it is. We're not going for the giants, but this is a healthy route,
Right.
and again, we're living proof of it.
Hmm.
And I have been in that situation when a
Right.
doctor has told me your anxiety's over the roof. Here's a prescription, and I tried it. I tried the prescription.
Hmm.
I felt awful. I mean,
Hmm.
more power to y'all, to those that do, but
That
I
enjoy it.
felt awful. I was like, this is not me.
Hmm.
It made me feel horrible. And then, no matter what the dosage was,
Right.
when I say I was paranoid, and with trying the cannabis, I didn't know the product. I didn't know, and there's ways to use it for you not to feel awful.
Correct.
You can't do that with Xannies. I
No, you
mean,
can't.
what
You
you're
either
gonna
take it or
break?
you
You're
don't.
gonna break it in half, and then it's still gonna do the same side effects. So,
Yeah.
and it's tougher on the body, on
Hmm.
our organs
It
and
really
stuff.
is.
And it has addictive product in it
Hmm.
that people do get addicted to.
Yeah.
And when you mention, our cancer patients, our MS
Hmm.
patients, I've had the pleasure to actually speak to people that do use the cannabis for pain or for
Yeah.
nausea. I have had conversations with women that use the suppositories for their
Hmm.
menstrual cramps. I'm so ready to use it. I'm so ready to use it. I have not used it, but that's one product that I do want to use.
Hmm.
Um, it does help with the menstrual cramps. What do I do when I have menstrual cramps? I'm either taking some Midol, some
Hmm.
ibuprofen. I want to get away from that. Ibuprofen's gonna, my kidneys are gonna shut. I'm gonna be dead.
Right. Right.
Midol, the same thing. And Tylenol, you get ulcers, and
Yep.
I've known people to die off of Tylenol because
Hmm.
they've had such a big pain that they've been dealing with, and
Right.
they're just sitting there gobbling up Tylenol, and next thing you
Hmm.
know, they are dead. Why?
Hmm.
Because so much pain pill intake.
Right.
And I haven't heard that with
No.
cannabis. Again, we don't have
No.
enough research, unfortunately, because it's not federally passed yet.
Right.
But there is research enough and proof here,
Hmm.
sitting in this room, that those effects don't. And being around the Green Relief family,
Yes.
we, all those patients, we've never had an issue with it, and I can't wait for all this research to come behind it.
Hmm.
We're all for it to be passed federally, because we need that research,
Yeah.
because the evidence that we have now of all the great things that it's doing, once that research does come in, we'll really know exactly what more it does, because there's so much to it.
Hmm.
So, I mean, people take it for glaucoma, people take it for cancer,
Mm-hmm.
for MS. I know a family that gives it to their child because their child has muscle dystrophy.
Yes, we have
Um,
many patients. We have many young
yes.
children as patients. It's shocking when it comes up and I see it and it's like you're a baby. I was like,
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah.
and the notes, you go see what docs put in there, and it's just what it is. There's kids that
Right.
have diseases as well. They're not
Absolutely.
waiting until they're 18 to say, okay, hey, I've had this disease and I've been given all this medication. These
Right.
parents are taking the throne and putting their children where
Yes.
they feel it's safer than
Absolutely.
going into the pharmaceutical route and drugging up their children.
Right.
Of course, we don't, they don't give them flour or anything like that, but they do give them other medications
Yeah.
that is needed for, and they
Pill
like it
form. They
yeah.
have the pill form,
Yep.
and they have,
They have suppository.
right.
They have patches. They
Yeah.
have everything you could think
Right.
of to help. Especially edibles is really big with the children because they microdose these children, so to
Yes.
make sure that they're not, high a freaking kite.
Yeah,
And
it's not for
it's
them to
not
be
for
high.
that. It's to
It's not
bring
for them
them
to be high.
down
Right.
and for their nerves, whether they're
Right.
having nerve damage, whether they're having
Right.
nausea from cancer. Yes, we have a few cancer patients that are children. It is
Mhm.
what it is. It's the facts of life.
Right.
It's I would rather my child have,
Right. And
what they
and
need.
it's funny because I talked to me 20 years ago and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's awful. You give to your child?" Because again, a mental status. It was just
Hmm.
a way that I was thinking because how illegal it was as me growing up and
Right.
so it's like, "Oh my God, no. How dare you?" But
Hmm.
now with the knowledge that I have with it, it's like do not take this away from these children.
Yeah.
These children are actually thriving with this stuff. That's why I feel there needs to be more research. I actually had a conversation in the last event that we went to, and the mom said, "Yes, I was giving it to my child," and I
Hmm.
seen her child, and she was like, he went through chemo, and during his time with chemo, his doctor told me that this was an option for me,
Hmm.
and she said, I asked her, I said, "Did you feel more comfortable because the doctor told you, or is it because you heard of it?" And she goes, "No, I felt comfortable because the doctor told
Of
me,
course.
but." Again, it's that mentality that we all have that it was so illegal,
Hmm.
that we're like, are you sure? Are you
Right.
positive? And she said it actually helped her son so much,
Hmm.
that she said if knock on wood he's a cancer survivor,
Hmm.
but if he was to ever need again, she's all for it.
Of course.
She's trying to get her 70-year-old mother also that has really bad rheumatoid arthritis.
Hmm.
She said, "I'm not trying to give her flour or stuff like that, but I'm telling her about the THC
Hmm.
creams and stuff to put on your joints and stuff, which
Yeah.
help a lot too." So there's many forms of it that I feel that it's good. It's not just to get high.
Right.
Sometimes we like to get high, but it's
Hmm.
just our choice. But it's a healing product.
It really is.
It really does. So I do feel that it healed me mentally. I also have been told that I have arthritis, and it actually helps me with that.
Right.
When it comes to menstrual cramps, it actually helps me.
Hmm.
I do want to try the suppository ones because I feel
Everybody gets scared. Everybody laughs when you say suppository. I've had a few
yeah.
patients on the phone. They're like, "What did you just say, suppository?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah,
But I do want to try it. I want to
it
try it.
is something to try. It
There
really
is a
is."
whole community of Canna women,
Hmm.
and they're all for it. They're like, this is great when it comes to menstrual cramps.
Yep.
Please do not test me on the words, but I know that there's these transmitters in our head that us women have those same transmitters in our uterus,
Mhm.
and the when we do a suppository, it
Mhm.
actually goes right to our uterus, so it's
Yeah,
not
it's closer. It's there.
right. So it's not. It does actually hit that pain, and
Hmm.
it smooths it out for you. And it's not a getting high feel. It's
Right.
just taking that damn pain away
Yep.
because some of us get really bad cramps. I
Hmm.
mean, some of us have to curl up in our bed and be there for like a couple days because we can't function. And
Right.
I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible that us women have to go through this
Right.
every month. So there is a product out there for us to try. So I'm all for it,
Oh
heal
yeah.
me away.
Oh yeah. Any board certified doctor will be able to advise you
Yes,
correctly when it comes to
absolutely.
that. Not these people that say they can get you your prescription through whatever little hole in the wall they got. If
No.
you have a board certified doctor, they will break down
Yes.
exactly what form and medication you need when it comes to the herbal life. And
Yes.
they'll be able to advise you properly on that.
Yes.
You guys all know you can reach out to Green Relief Family Practice.
I
Will
love
advise you
them.
guys properly,
Yes.
and you will speak to our doc one on one and advise you properly and
Right.
not going through a friend of a friend that just knows some way to get
Right.
you a card. Let's not go that route.
Please no.
No, just no. But I want to go ahead and thank you guys once again for visiting us and listening to us talk about what's important in our world.
Yes.
Feel free to reach out and advise if you have any questions. If you want to, join some type of topic, we would love to discuss any
Yes.
topic or anything that you guys have in mind. Once again, thank you guys for watching the Cannabis podcast. I'm Kay.
And I'm Simpson. And make sure you subscribe, follow, and share. Make sure you go check us out on YouTube, Spotify. You will not do any better.